Hey. Battleborn Bets, where we guide you through your Pro Football Survivor pool all NFL season long, 12 minutes or less. That's what I guarantee every single episode. I'm your host, Robert Kowalski, joined by my friends and partners, Robert Ginter, John Howard. Gentlemen, happy Friday. How are we doing today?
Good, guys. Hope everyone's doing good.
John, you especially got to be feeling really good. I know we'll get back to a quick review of contest week number 9 from Circa Survivor, but we'll let everybody know, for those of you watching, before you put in your picks, which you have about 36 hours or so if you're entering Circa Survivor's picks.
Unless you did it last night.
That is exactly why this man should be gleaming from ear to ear this entire episode. So we'll know that that's obviously a positive. Let's take a look quickly at week number 9, guys. Week number 9, Circa Survivor results. 288 were eliminated. That means 1,769 people survived to week number 10. Cowboys fell on Monday night, clipping another 8 entries.
Aren't we at below 10% of the pool left? 9 point something percent, right?
Yes, we are. Exactly it. So obviously, welcome to the sub 2,000 entry Circa Survivor contest. And now things start to get pretty dicey. And week number 10 is going to be quite a number. What are we looking at for favorites? Just, I guess, from a betting perspective, I've been tracking this all season long. Favorites dipped to 90, 41, and 1 straight up on the season. 3 games closing pick'em. 70 and 62 against the spread. So really tough if you're just backing favorites and not really scratching out much there. When we're looking at some interesting things, gentlemen, that I found, and we'll move on to this week's slate and matchups. The teams that are responsible for the most survivor deaths each week in Circa Sports Survivor, Green Bay and Pittsburgh are the only teams on this list twice.
I thought Atlanta would have been twice, no?
Who's that?
Atlanta?
Yes, Atlanta is correct. Right. So I didn't include them by way of percentage, but yes, they also are quite responsible. I just didn't figure in the factor in. So in week number 9, Packers knocked out 12.8%. Week 8, Falcons 32.9% were knocked out on that pick.
Yeah.
And then the Bengals 18.2%.
So I guess if I could find any solace in me getting knocked out, it's that I didn't get knocked out with the Falcons at all.
No, not the Falcons. And then obviously week number 5 was the one that really diced up the entire pool. Week 5, Rams was 28.4%. Cardinals, thanks to DeMarcado. Doesn't matter. Cardinals knocked out 25.4%. Over 50% of the pool just on 2 teams in week number 5. So onwards, guys, if we take a look at what we're figuring out with week number 10, there were quite a number of early chirps. Rob, you could probably speak to this with the big favorites in NFL week 10, but the big chirps were that this may be this buzzy kind of a week where we're going to see quite a bit of dicing. I don't know if it's going to be a week 5 edition kind because, well, we're recording this Friday morning, and we knew that one of the bigger selections for those of them that had them available were the Denver Broncos. Which others, Rob, did you see as teams that may have been most picked on from your perspective for week number 10?
Picked on? I think Saints, obviously. And that leads into Carolina, but honestly, with the way you guys are shaping up, I'm rooting for an upset.
Well, that's obviously true. And look, you're backing with the Cardinals. I'm sorry, I keep thinking Cardinals because for reasons. Carolina is a 5.5-point favorite, and you're looking to back them, and they're basically 5-4. Yes, it's probably a different looking team than the ones that we saw when they started 0-3. But John, let's just circle back to the fact of the matter here. And a lot of people like to withhold this information. It's something that you're hoping for. And well, the ship has sailed. You were one of the 30 some odd percent, I think 32% that could have taken the Denver Broncos, and you did. So congratulations to you, my partner and friend. You're through, and now you're hoping for the most minuscule of percentages on the Denver Broncos. Did it ever come to a point early in the week as you started to forecast what week 10 was going to look like? Was there ever a chance that you were going to say, maybe not Denver, let's see if I could find someone else?
Yeah, for sure. Why I probably pivoted back to them was because I don't have Buffalo and Detroit, which would have been the easier selections, at least for me this week. I used Buffalo earlier in the year as against New Orleans, and then I used Detroit against Cincinnati that 1 week. So yeah, for sure. It wasn't an easy click. I thought there was a lot of danger in that game last night. It was either going to go, Denver was going to blow them out by 30, or it was going to be a touchdown game. And I mean, you guys saw the game. Denver did everything to lose that game, and they also, it's a miracle that they won. I mean, they had that big play on special teams, and they still couldn't score a touchdown. Then they missed that field goal, the 50-yarder, that
59-yarder that was right short.
And then then Knicks throw that interception in their
he was brutal yesterday.
Their half of the field, and then Denver defense won that game, but then Carlson kicked that ball wide right. I mean, if that kick goes through, it's a 10-10 game, and then who knows what happens from there.
Well, nobody wanted to win that game, obviously.
So, oh my God, like the whole Thursday night thing is starting to make me feel like what's going on with these games. So again, it's the Thursday nights are kind of division based, and
but Denver was the first one out of the last 4 or 5 weeks or so that were division games where the favorite won.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm very lucky to get through. But happy that we did. And
before
we'll go from there.
John, one final thought on the Denver pick. Was that selection a game knowledge pick, or was this purely math? Yes, I know you said you actually can't take the Bills and you can't take Detroit, which means we'll get to this team coming up next. Really, the only other choice was Carolina. So was this a game knowledge selection for you, or was this pure math?
Yeah, it was. I think it was more math, just because looking at Denver, for me at least, I didn't see another spot to take them. Additionally, you could argue the same for Carolina, but at this point, you're going with the better team. So I just took Denver and held on for dear life, pretty much. But I just felt more comfortable taking Denver. I didn't see a spot for either of the teams moving forward, or the EV spots. I mean, you could technically take Denver again, but I mean, they may be the worst 8-2 team in the league. So I don't know. Bo Nix looks terrible. The defense
I think the weather had a lot to do with it. It was really windy there.
The defense is great, and then they almost killed Geno Smith.
Geno Smith looked dead on a number of occasions. I saw him go into the booth. I guess the concussion tent.
The blue tent, yeah.
The blue tent, and I'm like, okay, so he's done.
Yeah.
And then the interception happens, and he's like, "Oh shit, let me get back out there. Forget about this."
I was waiting for Kenny. Here it comes. Kenny Pickett's going to come in. He's going to throw 3 touchdowns. The classic meltdown. But I mean, that even that blocked punt in their zone, like they couldn't even score a touchdown on that. It's a miracle they won that game. But I mean, I don't know about Denver going forward, guys. I don't know.
That's the good thing. You don't have them at your disposal now. You don't have to worry about it.
Is anybody feeling good saving Denver for
And neither of you have any Denver left.
I mean, no, thank you, no, thank you. So I mean, if you took them already and you got through with them yesterday, congratulations. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
Rob, I want to talk a little bit about traps or tricky looking games. We talked a little bit about, obviously, so Denver's done 9.5-point favorites. They're through. And we all know the result there. The Bills opened up 9.5 at Miami. Currently, the number's pretty close. It's 9.5s everywhere right now still. Lions 8.5 at the Commanders. They're 8s right now, but looks like they're going to probably close 8.5. There's a game that keeps coming out, and they're getting a lot of buzz because of the trading deadline. I want to go ahead and discuss the Cleveland Browns as a selection here. against the Jets. They're on the road, and I'm hearing people really saying that this is a good pick. We're in week 10, Mr. Ginter, and I just don't quite understand the Browns' buzz for a play this week. There's still a legitimately terrible offense. Am I missing something here?
Jets. But then again, I'm the wrong person to ask because I got victimized by the Jets earlier this year. So I think they're viable. I mean, I don't subscribe to the get cute theory. That would be getting cute.
I could understand. Okay. Is it viable if you're holding one or two entries like John Howard is?
Absolutely. No. I mean, multiple entries. Yes.
Right. Exactly. If you're holding one pick or even exactly.
Let's put it this way. I'm down on Carolina. I think that game is ripe for an upset. So if I had to pick between taking Cleveland and Carolina, I don't really like my chances there either, but
do it now. That's it.
I'd probably take Cleveland because the Jets
painted yourself in the corner. Do it. Carolina or Cleveland?
I'd rather take Cleveland.
What?
Wow.
I'd rather take Cleveland. The Jets are.
Wow.
Okay, look. What do they have? What
Cleveland?
do they have?
Not much. They're 2-6. Look, they're a bottom 5 power rated team. And you have an option to discard 12 teams, right? This is the whole math behind it, right? If we think from math, 12 teams you can discard in this pool. You're taking Cleveland on the road against New York, or you're going to take Carolina.
Well, they're probably team number 13 or 14. Look at it that way.
Where's the Saints?
Probably in that mix.
Can we argue last?
I mean, like I said, if you're entertaining that, you're getting cute. But I think a lot of people are going to be on Carolina. I really think that they're going to be higher selected than Denver was.
Thank you. And this is a perfect dovetail into our next segment here. Let's talk about forecasting. So, Rob, go ahead and let's start you off. Obviously, Denver is through. Let's talk first about where you think the forecast was. We knew only 32% had Denver available. What percentage was on Denver last night?
23, I'll say.
John Howard, how many do you think?
It's going to be a little higher than that, like 25, 26.
All right, so less than the Survivor Atlas forecast for this week. And as is always, I love mentioning them because after all, this is how we're able to get this great data points. And
pull up their.
I shall in a moment. I don't want to pull the curtain yet because I want to hear your numbers first. So there was two teams I wanted to cover with forecast predictions.
Okay.
John, you said 26-ish. Rob, you said 22, 23.
22, 23.
Carolina is up next. 99% is available. I don't know what week it was. I think it was week 5. Like 2 people took Carolina. Probably, those are the people that had like 10 entries and they sprayed across.
That was probably the Jets game, wasn't it? When they beat the Jets?
It's very possible that's what it was. Yeah, when they were like, 1-3, and they figured let's take Carolina here. What are the percentage of forecasted entries on Carolina Panthers, Rob?
Between 29 and 31.
So okay, very good, John.
I had Denver at like 25, 26. So probably for Carolina like a percentage or two, but just below that. So I'll go like 24, 23.
All right. No drum roll necessary. Here it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you looking right at it, this is Survivor Atlas's forecast. You could see Denver, which survived on the last night's game with the Raiders. They're projected for 28% out of the 32, and Carolina 23%. So you're both really shrinking it so that they're almost.
I had them flipped. Let's put it that way.
You had them flipped. John had them almost side by side.
Yep.
3, 4, and 5 is Seattle with a 16% projection out of the 45% available. Buffalo is 16% with 31% of the pool still available to use them. And then the Chicago Bears with 7% with 82% available in the
How many
pool
percent have Denver available to choose? I'm wondering if that's the reason they're so low in this.
It was 32%.
Yeah.
So you're looking at numbers similar to Denver then?
Low 30s, yep.
Yeah. Chicago
But
team.
there's holiday considerations for Detroit too, so we have to factor that in.
They're a double holiday team,
Right.
on that factor actually. So
I still think
yes,
it's going to be higher
rounding
than
out
6%. I think it's going to be higher than 6.
So that's the fun thing, right? So rolling out the rest of it, 6 through 10. Detroit is 6%. The Cleveland Browns, 2% are projected to take them against the Jets that we talked about. 96% of the availability is on Cleveland. Who's taking Cleveland, actually? All these picks that are still alive.
I think it's going to be higher than 2% too. I think we're looking at 3 to 4.
Chargers 8, Jacksonville 9, and Rams 10. That rounds out the top 10. So it's great projectional data. And kind of the heat's on me. As I said, John, you're all the way through. So I'm not actually looking at anything that's really fun. I do have Buffalo available. I do have Seattle available. I do have Carolina available. At this
Do you have
point,
Chicago available too?
Chicago's available as well. Yeah.
Any thought of that?
I'm at this point 99% certain we're going to have one Buffalo entry. But after that, I don't know. I'm thinking after seeing Denver win, I may need to get a little bit more conservative. So it may go Buffalo twice, which I do have the ability to do so with only 31% being able to do so. So
Josh Allen's 14-2 against the Dolphins lifetime, by the way. I think that's
definitely
accurate.
Inspiring numbers.
I love those stats. That definitely helps me feel a lot better about the pick. Guys, we take a look at some of the final, strategies. Obviously, discussing ownership percentage, the popular picks versus the contrarian angles is something that we're still doing because we're literally halfway through right now. John, you've done it. You are halfway through. And I'd like to get to your part when we record again next week. So it looks like it's going to be, at least a 1 on the Buffalo. I'm not quite sure how to. You know what it is? If I knew right now that Rico Dowdle will practice and he's 100%, maybe I'd feel a lot better about taking Carolina. Yep. But the line is telling me slightly otherwise. The live numbers are 5.5. I knew there were some 6s out there, and I'm sure that we're just waiting to find everyone healthy on Carolina. New Orleans, they're overfinished, gone, done out. But I just really would like to see. To me, Rico Dowdle, yes, 100%. You are starting, and then I feel a lot more comfortable.
I thought I read a last update that he's set to play.
I'm sorry, Robert.
I thought I read earlier today that Dowdle was set to play.
If I could confirm that, you could pretty much lock it in right now, and I'll be taking Carolina with 1 and Buffalo with the other. So I got to go ahead and bring up one final note as we take a look. So nothing here. We don't need to restate official picks. We know, John, you've taken Denver, so congratulations. I'm looking officially. You could say Buffalo with 1, and then we'll see with the Dowdle news. Hey, by the way,
wait, hold on before you go. What's your pivot if Dowdle?
It's going to be probably Buffalo twice, unless I investigate Seattle a lot closer. But I mean, the Seahawks right now, they're really good. I'm happy to see that the market is moving off of the 6.5 to 7s. They're just so good at home, and it just makes a lot of sense. And there's the whole thought process that, Arizona's better off with Brissett, but bottom line is Seattle's just the better team up and down. And I think that would be a great B option, to decide between Carolina. So I don't know, Rob, if you had to split it down the middle and you had Carolina hosting New Orleans, I think you mentioned that, or Seattle hosting Arizona, which would you take? Seattle, John, how about you?
Yeah,
Seattle
agreed.
as well.
Yep.
I mean, division games scare me, but they're both division games. So you're literally choosing, again, going back to your response earlier, John, you picked the better team.
Right, exactly. Correct. Yep. I agree.
Your eyes tell, you when you're watching these games, Carolina's good, but they're more prone to a horrible Bryce Young game, and that can literally move the needle. Darnold is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Who would have thought we would be saying that?
Like if I had
ever.
if I had picked Carolina this week and then I watched Denver win last night and Carolina loses Sunday, I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Live with yourself. I agree. I remember talking to you earlier in the week.
You feel better going to sleep losing with Carolina, or do you feel better? You gotta pick and choose your spot. I'd rather go down with the better team. I think so.
I think you guys made me pivot live on the show. How about that?
Wow.
So hey, obviously, we do this every single week. For all of you tuning in, thanks so much. You clearly can see that. I mean, hey, there's 1,700 of us remaining. John's got his one pick on through. I still have these two to go. So we've got something certainly vested in all this. There's a lot of shows.
Don't believe anything I say. Obviously.
What's that? I'm sorry, Rob.
Don't believe anything I say. I have no skin in the game left.
No, listen. Everything you say is as equal in this entire pie as can be. There's plenty of shows that are doing live episodes right now that are doing episodes where they no longer have picks, and they're still doing it, just talking about this all the way through. We're still live with these three.
We got cred, bitches. We got cred.
Yeah. So I want to leave off with something that I found, and again, thanks to the great developers at Survivor Atlas, that lets us know if you map out a certain path, here is your percentage of making it through and how many people you will share the $18+ million prize pool in Circa Survivor. John Howard, I have a surprise for you. As I've made a fun little map. Rob, you're going to see this for the first time. You don't even know I did this. John, you don't even know
I thought you showed me something earlier this week. Was it the path where you're the only survivor?
That was for me. This is for John Howard. So let's go ahead and take a look at something really fun. And so, John, you sing here. Let me go ahead and everyone, yes, I do know that everyone is welcome to the show. So we're going to go ahead and just remove that for a moment. And I wanted to share the fact that John is now through with Denver in week number 10. This is just one path that I drew up theoretically where you take pretty much the largest favorite on the board. Now, what does John have that I don't, and many don't either? Kansas City on Christmas. That is the deciding factor as I punched in that selection first. And then the Eagles against Chicago on Thanksgiving. Knowing those two and Denver, of course, in week number 10, I mapped out the rest of the way. And so you could see from 11 through selection.
That's the holiday game, Kansas City, Denver, right?
Kansas City is hosting Denver, and I took Kansas City for John there. Philadelphia on Thanksgiving hosting Chicago. And then the map continues its way down. Yes, I know you would like to see.
Oh my God! If you're relying on Atlanta in the last week for your path, oh my God, I would not feel good about that.
The Falcons knocked out a lot of entries in the final week last year, actually.
Well, you know what? If you get to that week and you have Atlanta left, I know where you're hedging. You're literally going to be collecting money from every spot going to hedge.
Let's stay right. Let's just say that, right? So you're looking at it's now week 17. You took it home with Pittsburgh and Cleveland in that divisional matchup that's through, and now you're in your final week, and you're looking at Atlanta in maybe a playoff spot, maybe not, but you're basically playing a team where the Saints are playing for the number 1 overall pick. That's for certain. So, John, and I'm going to go ahead and scroll up the screen right now so you could see that should you make it all the way through, how many people are you sharing $18 million with?
My guess would be 3.
34.
Oh my God.
Have this path. So, John, I ask you this fun little question. Are you okay with splitting that amount and pocketing $530,000 plus for this trip?
Who wouldn't be, right?
Yeah, sure, of course. Yes, the answer is yes.
So this is the great new tool that the guys at Atlas did. It shows a 4% cumulative win probability, and then
But you
this
can
right
tweak
here.
that path too, and
Of
you
course.
can probably arrive at a number that allows you to share less.
Right.
It's a very cool tool.
It really
Nonetheless,
is.
it's
a hyper a hypersensitive data modeling.
Let's take a look and see. Just for example, let's say that you decided to take, instead of Atlanta, who are a 7-point favorite. Let's just say something insane happens, right? And of course, so much could happen between now and then. Let's say Joe Burrow comes
Who
back.
do you have as my holiday picks? Who do you have for Thanksgiving? Baltimore,
Kansas City.
Kansas City, and
Kansas
Philly.
City on Christmas,
Okay.
right? And then Philadelphia
Yep.
on Thanksgiving.
Flip it.
Why don't you
flip
pick?
the,
Go the
Thanksgiving. Flip the Thanksgiving game to Baltimore. Take
Now,
Baltimore.
Baltimore
and then put
chosen.
Philly somewhere else at a high VEV spot.
So Baltimore's chosen here against New England. So we're going to remove that.
And you wouldn't feel good about that anyway.
So here's Baltimore. Okay. And now Kansas City here on Christmas. Did you want that?
Yes, and then find a spot for Philadelphia at a high EV spot somewhere, or a high percentage wins spot, and then we'll check it again. It's a cool tool. It's pretty neat, actually.
Philly, where are you, Philly? Here you are.
There you are.
Oh,
Washington.
how about
at home.
hosting Washington in the
Perfect.
final week of the year? Let's see if that fills in every gap. No, we're missing week 16, where Philadelphia. So, okay, let's remove that. Philadelphia would be at Washington.
Take that there, and then whatever you want to do for week 18.
Okay, let's say it would be Atlanta again.
Okay. Same.
Still 34.
Wow.
Still 34.
Wow. Okay.
Not
Cool,
bad.
though.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
the idea would be to get down to 1.
Well,
and there's ways.
listen.
So this is
If
the
you're the
great
only,
part about it.
if you're down with one other person to split at the end, and you have to hedge. I mean, that's a lot of money you're gonna have to hedge. Maybe we cover that in different episodes. Let's hopefully have that problem.
We can get there. We can get there. Please.
One step at a time. The chances of getting there are slim, but you never know.
Well, let's tell the group that, John, I know, Rob, you've won it before. Cool, but furthest you've ever gone, week 11.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly the case. So we know we're already there.
Yep.
Great, guys. Hey, great episode. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. That's the end of it. We'll see you again for episode 11, hopefully with 3 picks. Take care, everyone.
Bye, guys.